Well, let's explore and see if we can get our tree to spawn in the world. Let's see how to do that. We find ourselves in IntelliJ once more with some Minecraft modding, and in this tutorial, we'll actually get our tree to spawn in the world. I previously mentioned that world generation in Minecraft is kind of a mess. I'll stick to that because it really is a mess, but we'll try our best to get through it. So this is probably one of the first, but we actually won't need any JSON files in this tutorial. It's a sigh of relief, I know, craziness, but it's true. So let's start by going to our world package and creating a new Java class. This will be the mod world events, and this is going to be a very special class because this has the public static void biome loading event. This will be the name of the method, and then in here we'll have a final biome loading event. There you go. The class will get an annotation, so add mod, and this is the FML common, and then instead of the parentheses will have an event bus subscriber instead of here mod id equals tutorial mod.mod id. And then the method here will also get an annotation, and that is going to be the subscribe event. And unlike the add overrides that we've seen before, those are actually critical for this to work. So it's very important that you add those. And then once again, in the gen package, we'll create a new Java class called mod tree generation. And this will have one simple method, which is going to be the public static void generate trees. Now, interestingly enough, this will also take a final biome loading event, but this event will pass in, so we'll go back to our mod worlds event and then call the mod tree generation.generate trees and then just pass in the event. And that's actually the mod world events done here. We don't need to use this anymore, at least in this tutorial. The bulk of the work happens in the generated trees here. And what happens is we will first of all create a new tree. So this is going to be redwood tree equals new redwood tree. We also need some random. So we'll just do random equals new random. This is from Java util random here. And then we'll get the biomes. So the way that we get the biomes is through a registry key down here in net Minecraft util. And this is a registry key of type a biome. We'll call this key. And we'll get this by using registry key .get or create key from registry, not Java RMI registry, but from, once again, a net Minecraft util registry biome key, and then what we can pass in is the event.getName. So biome loading event, of course, is the event that is fired when a biome is loading, and this then simply gets the biome key here, and then what we can do is we can get a set of biome dictionary.type called types. We need to implement the set. This is a Java util set, and types is equal to biome dictionary.getTypes key. And with that, we basically get the type of the biome that is currently being loaded. We can also go via the name of the biome. That would also work. Usually, the types are what is interesting here. And then what we can do, for example, is we can now ask for, okay, what biome are we currently in? So then we can say types.contains biome dictionary.type.planes. Right, and now something crazy will go on. We will need a list of suppliers. So supplier of type configured feature with question mark. We also need to import the supplier. This is a Java util function, and then also the list import Java util, and this is called base, and this is equal to event.getGeneration.get features, and then the features of the generation stage .decoration.vegetal decoration. So this is absolutely crazy. What is happening here? We're simply going in and getting all of the configured features that are used in this biome that we're currently loading. So biome loading event, we're loading a biome. We're taking a look at, okay, is this biome of type plains? This doesn't necessarily mean that it's only the plains biome in this case, but it's also different types of plains. There are different types of plains. If that is the case, then we'll get the list of all of the configured features that are in there, and then we're going to add our own configured feature to this. So we're going to call base.add, and we'll now add this to the list. So add mod configured features.redwood. Now, this is not all that we need. We also want some placement here. So this is with placement. And then we want features.placements.height placement, as well as with placement, this time placement, singular.count extra. There you go, configure. Let's also format this a little nicer. And then here we'll do a new add surface configuration with extra. It's going to be 1 with a, let's say, 25% chance of 2 extra. Now, if this is a little confusing to you, then I can just ensure you, yes, this is very confusing, because Minecraft world generation is very confusing. Let's just keep it at that. I can once again advise to go to features and simply look, for example, for some of the features that we have in here. So you can see that, for example, the Oak Badlands, this is the configured feature for the oaks spawning in Badlands. And as you can see, it also has the oak with placement here, and it has a height map placement as well as a count extra. So this is pretty much exactly what we've done with our tree as well. I highly advise to go through the examples that you have in vanilla here, because they are going to be your best friends on how Minecraft does its world generation. Then, of course, you can always play around with the numbers. I also very much encourage this. Right, and because we did it this way, we actually don't need either of those, which is very funny, actually. So we can delete this and also the imports here as well. And then our method actually looks really nice. So this is a very small method. If we were to have multiple trees here and we want them to spawn in different biomes, there's plenty of ways to go about this. This simply checks for the biome type. Of course, we also get the biome by name with this event.getName, and we can also filter via this, simply adding new if statements and then adding to it whatever type of tree that we might want. This is definitely a more advanced topic even than the things that we have done before. World generation overall is just very advanced. I can definitely assure you this, and it's probably going to take a while to get right, but hopefully with a little bit of working on it, looking at some vanilla examples, I'm sure you'll figure out the most important elements of it. But now, after this is done, let's actually see if it works. Don't forget to create a new world for this, because the world generation, of course, has been changed. So we actually need to create the new world here. Right, and we find ourselves in Minecraft. We just spawned in, so let's actually scan the... Oh, look at that. That's actually really nice. And if you press F3, then you can see this is actually a plains biome, and this is sort of the amount of trees that have spawned in here. Usually, of course, in the plains biome, not that many trees spawn. That's partly why I've chosen it as well, because it's very easy to see the new trees here. And as you can see, they are semi-randomly placed, so that's pretty cool. And they're also different heights. So the world generation has taken in the configure feature perfectly, exactly like you would imagine. Yeah, so as you can see, the trees have spawned in the world. And there you go, getting the basics to work for generating trees and also other things in the world is not that difficult. Sometimes it can just be difficult to get it down perfectly and just the way you want it. That's where it gets really hard. I've basically already given all of my advice out here. Take a look at the features from vanilla, take a look at GitHub, and see how some mod creators get their trees to spawn or their other things in the world, their world gen, and then you might be able to get exactly to what you want. So don't despair, try out a few things, and especially when it comes to world generation, you gotta be a little bit patient with this, because it's definitely one of the most advanced topics in Minecraft modding. Right, but that was it for this tutorial right here. I hope you found this useful and you learned something new. Don't forget to leave a like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe for more tutorials just like this, and I will see you in the next one. So, yeah.